Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. Today, we'll talk about Ripple and XRP in addition to most cryptocurrencies and money. The XRP lawsuit was dropped 1 month later in January 2021, when this video was shot. The universe was in a state of extreme chaos up until that moment in time. It seemed like the world was collapsing around us, but the bull run was about to begin for everyone holding XRP. However, after investigating a few matters and delving into plausible possibilities, we realized that the SEC was nothing more than a circus. Let us now go ahead to the current day. Plus, it's all a bit out of the ordinary. It was crucial at the time, and this video is just as vital. For the simple fact that it set the tone for our future endeavors. Right now, we have Brian Brooks. Stop what you're doing and give Brian Brooks a listen if you're not into Bitcoin and you see him on your feed or a video. Why? Simply said, this is a fellow human being who has been in our shoes. Additionally, he grasps the future of crypto. According to Archer's crypto theory, Bitcoin and stable coins are financial institutions. Banks employ blockchain technology. Take a look at this when we start chartering cryptocurrency companies. During my time at the AUC, I also think it became clear that crypto is banking. The problem isn't with the banks, it's with the Bitcoin trading itself. Read up on coins as well. These establishments deal with money. Because they facilitate the transmission of value across networks, something that banks have been doing for 500 years, blockchains are fundamentally banking. They're approaching it from different angles. However, it is just how banks work. Our goal isn't to have large banks control the cryptocurrency market. This will become clear when you realize that we're starting to charter as banks, even though we're actually crypto startups. We're trying to get the word out to the crypto community that a bank charter could be the route to go for your operations. A lot of information needs to be unpacked. However, in my opinion, it is correct. We just saw something really fascinating, so please upload the nature video again. As we delve more, we find that a few things have transpired this year. My research has focused on Ripple's access to custodial services, which is one of the most noteworthy improvements. You can tell that custody services are being considered by all the big banks because of that. Good Morning Crypto wrote a post that I think you might find interesting. Consequently, we notice that Ripple partners are making updates. Ripple announced 500 relationships as of October 2003 and is still counting in this snippet from a presentation. Including international behemoths SPE Remit and Triangle, as well as domestic giants like Bank of America, the presentation highlighted over 500 agreements, and counting. Do you believe that the Ripple network, which is creating a web of global reach, will soon be regulated? Also, I've included a list of our partners below. Big banks, huge players with ties to big banks, here we go again. The number of other partners is increasing, and it already exceeds 500. Keep in mind that as of 2019, the Ripple network was already in use by 38 of the top 100 institutions. Think about our current situation. Let me pause this video to inform you that you can receive 40% discount for the next 3 days. Think about how interesting or challenging this is. For just $40, you can go into a good wallet on cold storage devices. At this very moment, you have the opportunity to save up to $128 when you purchase either the single pack or the double pack. Therefore, what are you negotiating for? Make sure you're secure by getting your cold storage equipment. We are entering the next bull run right now. Always prioritize your safety and, in addition to your riches. Returning to the video, is Ripple destined to become a major bank? Will Ripple eventually become a bank for banks? What is the point of my statement? Why? Bringing this up serves no use. Therefore, we will talk about it. A post by ISO 2002 will serve as our starting point. The first step in understanding XRP is to learn how it is used in interbank transactions. 2 videos have been added to this page. Both the send and receive functions of XRP are largely described in the first one. Stay focused. In this setup, you'll use your local currency to buy XRP, which will then be converted into the currency of the person who will benefit from it. Keep in mind that this market is open 24/7, so you can make international payments in almost any currency whenever you want, even if your bank is closed on weekends. And the network allows you to do this. Your payment will either be fully processed or rejected in 3 seconds due to a concept called atomic settlement. Because of this, our failure rates are different. And the price goes down a notch because of these savings. You won't have to go through a series of middlemen, each of whom will eventually fall apart. On the contrary, you should contact a regulated receiver in the market to liquidate your assets directly. That is quite a lot, I know. Our answer is yes. That concludes it. That is the initial video. Additionally, we are now paying close attention to this clip because, in my opinion, they have just disclosed something very important to note. Specifically, we collaborate with your organization to ascertain the desired level of value for those cross-border payments every day. Consequently, the money in your bailment wallet will be accessible to you. That XRP in your wallet doesn't belong to you. When transferring money, you must first remove the funds. Additionally, as Fiona mentioned, it gets transferred to a receiver for liquidation via the XRP ledger. Ripple will send you an invoice the following business day to let you know that you paid $500,000 yesterday. This is the receipt for the Australian dollar reimbursement to Ripple, which you can send from your bank to Ripple's bank in Australia. By the time it was over, I was starting to get a handle on blockchain technology, but then he pointed out a crucial detail that most people missed. Very well. It's alright. The ripple effect on Chadstone Grabber's bank account is due to the fact that community members did it. Listen closely and you will find out hidden things, that is the quote. As a result, Ripple will transition into the role of bank's last resort lender. Is this the final word? Not exactly. But think about the decisions that the big banks are making right now. The worst case scenario for JP Morgan is the XRP claim, that is correct. After our discussion, do you grasp the statement's meaning? It is time to look into this, so, I got 22. Now, we can begin. As far as digital banks go, Ripple fits the bill. In the past, members of the community have discussed turning Ripple into a bank. In 2021, when Ripple first arrived in Wyoming, you could remember that. Rumored to be their plan to become a significant bank by acquiring a large financial institution. In our research on the nature of digital banks, we have found that full banking licenses and charters are not necessary for inclusion in this category. We have spent the entire year investigating this, so we know they are using every service available. So, we also know this would be right up their alley. But if you want to call yourself a digital bank, you need to offer some kind of direct banking service to individuals, companies, or both. Online banking and electronic payments tools for personal financial management, digital lending, and investment services, tools for financial education, and tools for wellness. The more we look, the more we find that Ripple has licenses in a number of US jurisdictions. We all know that Ripple is quickly becoming a major player in the payment solutions industry, both within and outside of the US. However, they have also been expanding their services to include payments from other countries. Digital banking, payment processing, lending, investment services, VM tools, and financial education are among the many digital banking companies on the list. There is no information available on the last list serving, but we do have Ripple Linden paid bus 320, 12 active employees, 501 to 1,000 funds, and 293.80 million pieces of stuff. Despite being a global network with headquarters in San Francisco, Ripple offers a unified platform for cross-border money transfers powered by blockchain technology. As a result, they are either now a digital bank or are in the process of becoming one. But will they ever open a brick-and-mortar bank? Now, I've already said that I don't think they have to explain why. No one will be able to get into a real bank anytime soon because, in my opinion, physical banks will soon run out of money. For the simple reason that there will always be tangible solutions to problems that cannot be solved through remote access to a phone or computer. When you go to a real bank, tell me about all the problems you have. It's painful, and you have to wait forever. Something is wrong. It is fascinating that Ripple is a digital bank. Simply said, it proves without a reasonable doubt that brick-and-mortar banks no longer exist. Also, I make use of this video. Plus, as I mentioned before, it prompts you to wonder. It is my firm belief that XRP will play a pivotal role in Ripple's transition to a BAY. Tokenization, liquidity, line of credit payments, custody, you name it, they have it all. They are currently in a unique position compared to anyone else in the industry. No matter how much Ripple critics try, it's hard to ignore the incredible growth they've experienced in the past few years. Like Ripple, XRP has bright prospects for the future. Also, think about how big the demand liquidity Ripple payments have gotten. Again, this is crucial to remember because when we consider Ripple's potential evolution into a digital bank, or even a physical bank, if that is indeed in their plans, which I seriously doubt it is, you can bet that they already have everything they need. Major banks have already used BCDB Bank's custody solutions, so they already have everything they need to offer in terms of banking solutions. Seriously, there are a plethora of other contenders. Liquidity, tokenization, line of credit payments, and a whole lot more fall under this umbrella. You can almost guarantee that blockchain services, and similar concepts will be a part of any discussion on the future of banking. Ripple is way ahead of the curve yet again. Beyond that, we are aware that they offer a platform for central banks and large institutions to use CBCs and stablecoins. All major banks and central institutions are likely using Ripple because of its potential to become a big part in the banking industry. I mention this because we have a good idea of what the future holds. We know this about digital money and futures thanks to the BIS and each of these significant organizations. You can probably predict what occurs beyond this. Ripple is certain that major US institutions will also be interested in using XRP as a cryptocurrency, and that they can make it easy for these banks to do so by utilizing Ripple. We are also familiar with the concept of shoutouts, which relates to the CDC and trustworthy coin efforts. Add 21 additional XRP, the world is home to 195 different nations. Darren James asserts that there have been 5 published discussions and 5 announced discussions on the BBC. Additionally, 20 more conversations have resulted in signed deals, bringing the total number of running deals on the Ripple CBC platform to 30 out of 195. This platform offers private or public species, not XRP, and it is pretty exciting. Give a video your entire attention. Our ability to begin discussions and projects with Cent was largely unaffected by the SEC litigation, I can assure you of that. Take money from banks in countries other than the US. I am aware that here in the US, we put a lot of emphasis. I expected that. On the other hand, most people around the globe hold different opinions. Many countries' governments have long maintained that XRP is not a security, including Japan, Switzerland, and the UK. Now we will go on to the CBC perspective. In terms of obstacles, it hasn't been too bad. We have declared 5 different countries that are partnering with us since we started this project 2.5 years ago. Unannounced, we have a comparable quantity. Additionally, we are in the midst of conversations with 20 or more other active nations. As a result, we have announced the addition of 5 more partner nations. We own an undisclosed quantity that is comparable. We also have discussions on No Way and 20 or more other nations that are also actively involved. No Way, just keep in mind that this is 15 minutes and 38 seconds of central banks. That, plus the number of people he isn't allowed to mention, is something to think about. And he still won't reveal who they're negotiating with. This highlights the significance of Ripple's long-term partnership with major players and central banks. I couldn't be more excited about what lies ahead for Ripple and XRP. As we see this, we notice that the grown-ups are seated at the table. they're arguing and talking to each other. Let us not get into the topic of. Within the next 5 months, you will be aware of what Solana is meant to do. Dogecoin isn't going to finish this deal in 5 months or something. Revolutionizing the role of central banks is what we are discussing. The revolution in the movement of money is reshaping the global monetary system. We can see that Ripple is well positioned to serve as a platform for big institutions and central banks when we examine their offerings. Because we also know that Ripple has tapped into the central bank of central banks, I am quite fine with them being vital infrastructure for the major banks even if they don't grow. It's hard to believe that so much has happened in only the past year. It is imperative that you closely observe the events unfolding before you. But since Ripple now offers every service needed to transform into a digital bank, it would be a logical move for them to do so. Therefore, having said that, if you liked this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. See you later, bye.